Mount Tom State Park is located off Route 202 in Litchfield, Connecticut. Over the years, I've used the lake and hiked the trail to the tower dozens of times. The tower trail offers two trailhead access points, which merge about 3/4 into the hike. The seemingly less popular path, which I access alongside the park's main driveway, walks you past an old stone foundation and fireplace. For the 20 years I've lived in this area, I've never heard any history from the locals about what this site was for. But according to a June 2010 blog on backsideofamerica.blogspot, the foundation and chimney are remnants of a former Boy Scout camp that was active from 1916 to 1934. According to that blog post, the Scouts helped blaze the trails we use today. The Tower Trail is roughly a mile long, but it packs in some moderate terrain in the 500-foot climb to the summit. Under the snow, this section of the trail is paved with small boulders, so the snow on this day made it a bit more challenging to navigate my footing between the rocks. You can't see my footprints because of all the leaves, but I made it. This part of the trail in the dry summer is typically not a pond, but the trail actually cuts through that way. But we've had so much rain here in Connecticut this year that I never saw. I hiked here, I want to say, in mid-July, and there, when you would expect it to be dried up, and there was still a pretty good puddle, and it's grown. Few hikers see it, but if you look for it, you'll find the worn path that leads you off the main trail a bit for a view of the valley. I'm leaving my tracks now for somebody else to see, but I like to stop here, especially when it's hot. Gets a nice breeze over here, and these big rocks keep a coolness in the air. This is usually where I come, and you can see down into the valley. Sometimes I like to just stand here and study the woods to see if I can spot something. A deer would have blended nicely into the brown and white landscape, but the woods were quiet, so I ventured on. I see it now because it's still snow covered, but this section of the trail is a slippery ledge of rock. I posted this picture on my Instagram page back in 2017 after I almost took a digger after a light rain. For you geologists, the Connecticut State Park and Forestry Division's website offers information on the array of metamorphic rocks found on this site, including black gneiss, which was used to construct the stone tower. Right before you get to the tower, there's another lookout over here that you got to pop off the trail to see. That's an amazing view today. I've looked into that landscape dozens of times and even caught a few amazing sunsets. It's become my favorite spot along the trail. You can see the feet followed that way up to the tower, which is, the more direct route. But there's another way in that takes you up the backside. I prefer to approach the tower via the more roundabout route, because I think you get a more majestic view of the tower. But then I'll descend using the steeper, more direct route. I remember the first time I did this hike. I had never seen a tower like this before. It was something you'd see in fairy tales. Not to sound corny, but it's true. And then to be able to go up inside of it is really cool. The 4-story, 34-foot stone structure has sat atop the summit since 1921. Maintenance of an observation tower was a condition of the gifted land, which was donated in 1911 by Charles and Gustavia Seneff. On a clear day, you can see Mount Everett to your north, the Catskills to your west, and Long Island Sound to your south. I got a really good picture off this pole this summer that had a spider on it. It's one of my favorite pictures. I exited the tower and made my way back down the mountain. It wasn't long before I was reminded of another memorable photograph. I'm coming up on the spot on the rock where I had taken a picture of a rock that was sitting on top of a rock that looked like a dog face. I came back the next day, it was gone. It wasn't on the rock anymore. It's too bad because it would have been a neat thing for people to see, but I'm grateful that I got a picture of it. As I walked back to my car, I thought about the many memorable moments I've made while hiking this trail. From the hikes with my kids, to a night hike with my friend Alicia, to the hiker I encountered in the parking lot who made me laugh. In spite of its short distance, for me, it's been a trail to remember.
There's something in the woods. There's definitely something in the woods.
I know that was the way, Alicia. You gotta trust me.